Don't Argue special late night, late night edition of the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. I'm your host, Noah Love. It's 2:46 a.m., February 9th, 2025. Got done watching college basketball, some NBA. Tonight, we're going to keep it to college basketball recap and um and my Super Bowl predictions, the Josh Allen winning MVP, the Hall of Fame stuff, how Jimmy Butler to the Warriors has started. Luka's debut is on Monday. Obviously, I'll have re, a strict reaction pod. I'll have two pods up. This one and the reaction pod to whoever wins the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and Eagles. I'll just give you my prediction for that real quick as we will get into this. I have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Why do I have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl? Because of 15. Eagles have a more talented roster. You go down the line. Running back, they're better. I think a receiver, they're better. O-line, they're better. I think slot corner better. Just corner in general better. I think safety's better. Linebackers, you can make the case they're better. That's kind of up in the air too. I think the Eagles have the most talented roster in the league, but the difference is 15. Patrick Mahomes. When you watch the Super Bowl, last time these two teams played, I think Philly outplayed them. I really did, but they made mistakes. The key is going to be the turnover battle. The Eagles just can't not turn the ball over against the Chiefs. Can't do it because Mahomes makes you pay each and every time. So you cannot do that. You cannot have that. If I am the Chiefs are going to be walking in. Look, this is history. It's either a three-peat or it goes up in smoke. And this will be a heartbreaker for the Chiefs if they don't win it because you get right to the doorstep of history and then you don't pull it off. And it'd be a heartbreak. I think the Chiefs, they'll find a way to get it done. The key is if Saquon has a big game, I feel like Philly wins. If Saquon has 250, 260 on the ground, which I don't think he will because I think Steve Spagnuolo, really good DC. I think Chris Jones, Karlaftis, I think Nick Bolden's going to be a big key in this game as well. Their run fits. I think they get it done. It's going to be interesting to see if they stack the box early and they say, you know what, go one-on-one. No L'Jarius need Hurts in this game because last year their defense was so good because obviously you had the D-line and linebackers, but their secondary, Snead and McDuffie, you have the best 1-2 corner combo in the National Football League, and they just shut you down. Now, McDuffie against A.J. Brown, that's going to be the one-on-one matchup. How are you going to stop? How are you going to stop that? You're going to have a safety over top, in my opinion. McDuffie's really good, but look, if Jalen Hurts can throw the ball, the middle of the field's going to be crucial. Dallas Goedert's going to be crucial, but you know what Philly wants to do. They want to run the football. So it's going to be interesting how the Chiefs defense handle that. Eagles defense, I think really well equipped to stop this offense. Obviously, Jalen Carter in the middle, that's just a handful in itself. Their linebackers are really good, but also the matchups. Sometimes they line up Worthy on the inside. If he's in the slot, Worthy is DeJean will be on him. If he's outside, I think Quinyon may take him or Slay may take him. I think they'll probably put Quinyon on him, and Marquise Brown will probably get a Slay. That's what will probably happen. For Kelsey, you just can't let Kelsey go off. You can't let him do it. Can't let him do it in this game. Kelsey, if Kelsey has 90 to 100 yards, the Chiefs win the game. If you're the Eagles, you cannot let Kelsey go off like he did against Houston. Can't let happen here in New Orleans. Super Bowl look, it's going to be a great, like, I think it's going to be a great game. It's not the game a lot of people want. It's the game we're getting. Look, people have talked about the lack of hype. I got, look, it doesn't even feel like a Super Bowl because NBA stealing spotlight with all these trades. But yeah, I just feel like in terms of this game, there's so much. We talk about legacy a lot in media, in sports media. Patrick Mahomes, like his legacy won't take a hit with a loss, obviously, but with a win, it can really elevate. Jalen Hurts, I feel the same way because if you if you lose, okay, you lost to Mahomes, but if you win, you're one of two active quarterbacks, and at 26 now, you have a Super Bowl. And imagine if he had an MVP as well. Now Hurts is entering some talks for probably top five quarterbacks. If he didn't get hurt in 22, he would have been the MVP. So look, this game, there's a lot on the line. I'll be interested to see the coordinator matchup. Mainly, I'll be interesting to see obviously Kellen Moore versus Spagnola. Obviously, Andy Reid calls the plays. Him versus Vic Fangio, two long tenured coaches. Obviously, Reid as a head coach, but Fangio, head coach sometimes, coordinator, been great. So yeah, but I do have the Chiefs winning. I think it comes down nail biter. I don't think it's gonna be as high scoring as the first time. I think it's gonna be a 30 I think it's gonna be a 31 20 27 type of ball game. I think the Chiefs just find a way to do it late because Mahomes, I think he gets a game winning drive. Because I think Mahomes is just that good. And it's just like, if you want to beat 15, you can't give him the ball. Can't give him the ball. Yeah, that's what I got. There, there. The Chiefs are winning. I think the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Now, let's go college basketball here. There were some interesting developments today. Number one, Auburn went down against Florida. There will be a new number one in college basketball come Monday, and it will be the Alabama Crimson Tide. Next week, it's Alabama. I think it's going to be number one. Auburn's going to be number two, or maybe they'll be. It really depends on how they rank Tennessee, obviously. But I think it'll be a 1-3, 1-2 type thing. It could be. Auburn and Duke went down today. College basketball's great. Uh, it was good. Florida was just on a heater today. Uh, Dick Vitale returned to the sidelines for Clemson. Clemson handed Duke their first ACC loss. Obviously, Duke is not as strong of a conference this year, but Clemson's still really good, and they put themselves back into the race. Obviously, there's a new program in the Big East. It's St. John's after last night or 2 nights ago. St. John's, that team is just incredible, man. They don't take and make a lot of threes. Because why should they? They're great mid range, but their defense. I mean, to force UConn to have like 20 plus turnovers, insane, incredible, incredible. I know that was last night, but that was incredible. Some other notable results: Michigan survived the scare at Indiana. Danny Wolf, incredible. He had 20. Indiana, obviously, Mike Woodson is going to be done after the season. Now, what's funny, a lot of people have them on first four out, and where Indiana's not going to the tournament unless they somehow turn around, not going to the tournament. Some other results: Kansas. What is up with them? They get upset by Kansas State. Kansas State's won, I believe, 5 in a row now. Great for them. But Kansas State, what is up? A team that is making some sneaky noise is Creighton. Creighton upset Marquette. They'll probably be back in the top. I assume they'll be back in the top 25 next week potentially. I don't know that for sure, but I assume potentially they will be. But man, they're making some noise. They're right there with St. John's in terms of the Big East. Look, we still in terms of conference tournaments, we still have like almost a month to play. So again, bubble teams, all that, a lot of things could turn. A lot of things obviously can turn around. Obviously the bracketologies and stuff, we're not getting into all that. I am going to talk about my final four contenders for a little bit and some of my dark horses. Let's start with my final four contenders. Obviously, Auburn. This is the best team I think you can make the argument Bruce Pearl's had. I think this is better than the team there where they had Kessler and Jamari Smith. I think this is better than the Final Four team, Harper and Bruce Brown, that just played at a frantic pace. I know they lost today, but just Johnny Broom might be National Player of the Year. Their guards, really good. They're really well coached, obviously, with Bruce Pearl. Auburn, I like them. I like the way they play defense. They just lost a tough one today against Florida. Again, Clayton. Well, in I'll segue. They're a Final Four contender for me. This is the best team since the 2014 Final Four team in the Billy Donovan era. To me, it really is. Um, their guards again. They were without Elijah Martin today and went in on the road to number one Auburn and beat them. That's an impressive win. Florida has all the pieces. They have all the pieces. Defensively, they're really good. Their guards, when they're on, they're on. You saw Walter Clayton. He was on the day when they have Elijah Martin, they're on. They really can just suffocate you defensively. Florida, and again, that league, the SEC, that's a tough league. Very tough. Like it's a dogfight every game in that league. I mean, if you just watch the Alabama Arkansas game, Alabama was in the dogfight for most of that game. Well, I mean, they did get up 20, but then Arkansas came storming back. But it was mostly a dogfight. So man, I mean, I'm looking at Florida here. Look, they're 7-3 in the conference. Yes, they got some tough losses. Have some very great wins. I remember they went on the road. They lost to Kentucky, which was their tough loss. But I remember at home, they throttled Tennessee. They went on the road to Tennessee, lost to them, which ironically is the next team I have as a Final Four contender. I just believe Florida's coach, obviously, doing a fantastic job Florida, Florida. It's just really good. The key though is gonna be obviously they have some of these up and down performances. If they bring that defensive intensity, I think there's a good chance they'll be in the Final Four. Again, it depends on the bracket, obviously. There's some dark horses, obviously, some teams that we don't see coming. Tennessee is my other. I have four SEC schools on here. Look, Tennessee's really good, man. Still, look, Chaz Lanier can really shoot it. You have the experience with Zakai Ziegler at your guard spot. You have Ivicic, who's really good. This is a team that, again, really defends. When they're defending at a high level, they're great. And I think their defense can carry them a long way. Now, they're built similarly to the Elite Eight team last year. Now, not having Josiah Jordan James, that's obviously a big thing. They had him with Dalton Connect, who's really that second guy. But Chaz Lanier, again, he's very similar. Dalton Connect, great size, can really shoot the three. They run him off some pin down actions. I mean, Tennessee again, they're a really good ball club. They were number one at a point too. People forget they were number one at a point. They just lost some games. They went on a skid, which is understandable. It's the SEC this year. They've done a lot more. Cold. Yeah, under the weather, I am. Yeah, yeah. They've Tennessee really good team. Rick Barnes do a really good job, and also the question is though, can they get over that Final Four hump this year? I don't know. To me, obviously, Chaz Lanier is going to be the key. Sakai Ziegler, their their bench also going to be key, but also how they defend is going to be crucial. Next, I have is Alabama, who's going to be the number one. Look, Alabama, I believe, out of out of probably all the out of the four teams, man, I think I have the most confidence in them because they could just score the ball, and even if they don't score the ball well one night, they're a gritty team that makes just winning plays all the time. Alabama, look, last year it was kind of a surprise with them as the four seed. They kind of get to the Final Four. Kind of was a surprise. They took UConn down to the wire. I mean that UConn team was really good, and Alabama hung with them because Alabama can put the ball in the bucket. So again, Alabama's a Final Four contender because everybody seems like they have the green light. Sometimes that's a good thing. That offense, if you don't come ready to play defensively, they're gonna hang 100 on you. They can and they will hang 100 on you. So whoever draws them, good luck, man. Mark Sears having again a terrific year. They got Graham Nelson back. Obviously, those are your top two guys. Right Cell have very good. Out Nate Oates doing a fantastic job with Alabama, man. To turn them into a basketball program where they're more known for their football and basketball saying, hey, we got a team too. Alabama's just really good. Next, this is gonna surprise some people, maybe. St. John's. Look, I love this St. John's team. Now the question is, will a team pack it in against them and make them shoot a lot of threes? But they just find ways to win, man. Patino, and also I give them an edge because Patino's one of the best coaches in the sport. Regardless of what you think of some of his personal choices, he's one of the best coaches in the sport. Uh, the way they defend. I mean, to beat Marquette and UConn in 1 week as well, in the way they did it, the physicality in the defense, and look, Saint, they're I think tournament ready because tournament is physicality. That's what St. John's prides himself on in defense. The way they pressure the ball, the way they blow up triple handoff, pick and roll ball screens. St. John's is just so good on the defensive end. They're unbelievable. Now, obvious, the Richmond is doing having a good year, great year. But yeah, St. John's. I know last year they weren't in the tournament, kind of got screwed, whatever. This year they for sure going to be in the tournament because they're most likely going to win the Big East in Rick Pitino's second year. That's incredible. St. John's, that's a great win. I think somebody could get them all. Maybe if they have a big time offensive night, but you're gonna have to the way they play defense. You're really gonna have to be on your game offensively to get them, man. That team's really good. The team that I think has the most ceiling, Duke. Look, Cooper Flag, Con Canupo. Look, Mason Gill's coming off the bench making hustle plays. Look, Duke's really good. I know they lost to Clemson today. Look, okay, they hadn't lost in a while. Clemson's a good team. They were on the road. Cooper Flag slipped. It happens. I'm not too worried about Duke. Duke's Duke. Look, Cooper Flag can easily put up 30 a game if he needed to. He does, or even if he wanted to. But he's all about the team. Look, there Duke is going to win the ACC regular season, and I think they're going to win the ACC. And I know anything can happen in March, but I think the regular season and they may win the conference tournament. To me, they have the most upside. In now, obviously, I'm looking at the schedule upcoming here. The only game I see them potentially losing. Okay, they play Illinois 8 o'clock on Fox, maybe on the road at North Carolina. I see them losing that, but yeah, Duke. Look, Cooper Flag is really good, man. Averaging 19.5 points per game, best freshman in the country. You can make the argument hurt him or Dylan Harper. I think Duke. I think Duke. They can. I think they're gonna be in the obviously that second weekend, and then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, I really like them to get to the Final Four, mainly because of Cooper Flag, but also John Shire's a great coach. I think this is the best team in the John Shire era as well. This one I've got Houston. Look, Houston has been forgotten about because they lost some games early. Houston's playing some good ball, man. The I know they lost a tough one last weekend at Texas Tech, but the way they score and the way they defend, Kelvin Sampson, great coach. Don't ever count out Houston, man. Houston's really good. That team defensively, I'd love to see them play St. John's. That would be rugged 50-49. Like, that would be a dog fight. A straight dog fight. Wouldn't even it wouldn't I don't even know if it screw dog fight, bar fight is what that game would be. My goodness, but yeah, I I like Houston, obviously, in that. In that, obviously, you need great guard play. They have that. Houston this year, I know they had the couple of losses that they had. You're looking at them like, oh, Houston's not that good, but Houston playing some good. basketball this year. The other one, and this is my last one before I get into the dark horses, Ohio Iowa State. And the reason I have Iowa State here is mainly because of the guards. That's it. Look, say what you want. Those guards, Gilbert and Curtis Jones, those guards. I know they had 3 losses in a row at Arizona. The at Arizona that one hurt because they had that one, and then the Hail Mary or the Hail Mary, the half court shot happens. They get destroyed against Kansas State at home, which is kind of like what. And then they're at Kansas, but I really still do believe in this team, and mainly their guard play. I think makes them obviously special this year. The way their guards score, and then the way again I talk about defend, they're able to defend. Curtis Jones had a big game today, like coming off the bench, but obviously in terms of big games, like Lipsy, a really good guard. Keyshawn Gilbert, a really good guard. By the way, at the forwards, you got Mo Chilovich, who can really shoot it. Iowa State, man, that's going to be a tough out. Last year, they went to Sweet 16 as a 2 seed. Obviously, they lost a tough one to uh, Illinois. I think this Iowa State team's better than last year. I know they were on a little bit of a slide coming into the game today, and they won by 30. I think Iowa State's going to be fine. And I think Iowa State is a legit contender to get to the Final Four. If you want to put them as a dark horse because of the way they've played lately, that's fine. Here are a couple of my dark horses. So, Purdue. Look, Purdue is a dark horse for this reason. Like, Matt Painter, one of the best coaches in the country. You can make the argument he is the best coach in the Big Ten. Braden Smith has been the best point guard in the country this season. Then you have the development of Kaufman Rin. He's been really good. Miles Colvin, their ability to shoot the three and defend. I don't think they get to the Final Four this year personally, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did. That's why they're a dark horse because they can easily make it. Matt Painter's got Roland Fletcher, Lawyer. By the way, you have veteran guards who play well. Well, Purdue had a tough non-conference, so they're going to be battle tested going into the tournament. And obviously, the Big Ten is no slouch of a league, so that's going to be tough, obviously for them. But I think Purdue can get to the Final Four. Purdue has all the pieces. Other team is Michigan State. Look, man, Izzo's doing a fantastic job. They won today. Chase Richardson may have arrived to America. That team is just playing so well. They're moving the ball. They're playing so hard. And look, Purdue and Michigan State is going to be an interesting game when that time comes. I was debating putting Michigan on this list. I was debating putting a couple other teams on the dark horses list, but I kept it to 5. This is second of the 5. I think Michigan State is it's just very well equipped to get to the to get to the Final Four. Izzo has them playing some just great basketball. Texas Tech. Now, people will be like, okay, Texas Tech, why? Look, I've seen Texas Tech guard play is phenomenal. And again, I favor teams heavily that have good guards because, again, in March to win, you have to win with great guard play. If you have great guard play, you will win or at least be very successful in March. So I'm looking at that. If if I'm looking at that for Texas Tech and I'm putting them, I'm like, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, they beat Houston on the road. They're really good, well-rounded team. I was debating on putting Arizona on the list because Caleb Love's playing well. Tommy Lloyd, he's really got that squad playing well, mainly on the defensive end. He's righted the ship. I debated putting them on the list. Yeah, my my last two, and then before I get out of here because it's almost 3:30 a.m. is I got Kentucky and UConn. Let's start with Kentucky. Kentucky they the reason they're not a contender is because to me defensively they they just don't have it on all the nights. The reason they're a dark horse is because of the way they share it and the way they can score it. They can easily, if you don't come to play defensively, 100, they can do the same thing Alabama can do. Look, their ceiling is going to be determined by how well they play defensively. I think Mark Pope's done a really good job in year one of assembling this team. This team just moves the ball. Lamont Butler, Owe, Kobe Bria. They have so many guys that can kill you. That okay, one guy can have 16, another guy can have 18, another guy can have 20, another guy can have 12. 10, like Kentucky just has so many weapons. So many weapons this year. Um, they have so many weapons to where if they make the Final Four, made a deep run, wouldn't be shocked because of the way they play offensively in Kentucky. They, their organization or their program, yeah, their program really wants that. Fans want that. They need that, to be honest, because of the way they exited like 2 of the past 3 years. My last one's UConn. This is kind of because they're the defending champs, and I didn't want to leave them out. But also, I think look, Liam McNeely getting back is gonna help them. The I think defensively, what he brings with his length and his size, and offensively, he really gets after the glass. He can shoot the three. The issue for them has been point guard, though. Diarra and Mahaney have not turned out to be great. Again though, UConn is a dark horse. They but I think it's going to come down honestly to how they defend. If they defend well, if they defend well like they did against Marquette or even St. John's, they're gonna win the game. But I just don't think you can. They turn the ball over a little too much for my liking, and their defense is not as good as last year, which is understandable. You lose a lot of players. Your defense is good. It's a younger team, but don't count out Dan Hurley. I think he's still the best coach in the sport until somebody takes that away from him. I think UConn. Now, do I think UConn can win it all? I don't know about that. Obviously, we still have months to go. But yeah, you. I think UConn this year is a dark horse because a lot of people have forgotten about them because they haven't played the greatest, but they still have Dan Hurley. They still have some experienced players like Caravan mixed with young players like McNeely. I really think UConn can be a threat come March. All right, that is it for the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. This will be up probably around 10 a.m. tomorrow or today. Yes, today. I gotta get some sleep. That was your college basketball recap, Final Four contenders, dark horses, and and my Super Bowl predictions. That's gonna be it. I've been your host, Noah Love. I will see you back when with my instant reaction to the Super Bowl ending. That'll be in, until then, see ya.